We all know Russell T Davies is completely out of his mind. Ever since this relaunch of Doctor Who, and he came back with the 60th anniversary specials, he's gone out of his way to upset fans. He's gone out of his way to actually give interviews to say he's going to be pissing you off. He's going to be pushing the show in a different direction. He's removing science fiction from it. And I think a lot of it, there's a couple things here. One, he's so wrapped up in his LGBTQ plus agenda that he literally can't even write a show anymore. And number two, when he says he doesn't want to do science fiction, he wants to push into fantasy, he's saying he wants to be lazy and not actually have to explain things. And that's exactly what this last season ended up. There are a bunch of random episodes where like, why did this stuff happen? It really wasn't explained very well. And a lot of viewers tuned out because of that. Even the better episodes, like the 73 Yards, like they never explained what happened. And he said, "I'm never going to explain what happened." And he acts like he's so smart. He has it in his head, but he's just not going to tell you. But I think it's quite the opposite. I think he just like lazily turned in a first draft, didn't want to revise it, and was like, okay, we're just going to go. We're just going to go with this. I'm Russell T Davies, and I've won Hugo Awards. I'm a genius. That's my Russell T Davies impression for the morning. But that's how he talks. And if you've seen, it's just been riddled with identity politics every single time. They've talked about fans calling them bigots and racists, attacked them. Nkuti Gatwa's gone out there and said, don't watch the show, and then cried when people didn't watch the show. I mean, these people are insane, and it is an intentional destruction of Doctor Who. Now, there's an interesting quote here coming from the Stephen Moffat fans' Facebook page, and I'm loving the comments. If you look at it, the Doctor Who fans are all on here, and this is not like some right-wing sort of group or whatever. This is a regular Doctor Who fan page. You can see just how upset the fans are with what he's doing. This should be a big bellwether for these guys saying, hey, we need to course correct. I know what's funny is they've already done season 2. It's already in the can. The idiots at Disney and the BBC commissioned both in advance of even this first one screening. So they finished everything up so they would not have any interference by what the fans wanted or anything like that potentially on there. But it's causing problems for the brand. We've already seen that Disney bosses have gone out, and there's been rumors that they're very, very upset with how low the ratings are. They're very, very upset with Russell T Davies. But his arrogance is on display here. And we've been covering a lot of these people just in their arrogance in Hollywood and in the film industry and the like over the last couple of days. Rings of Power showrunners are like this. The Acolyte showrunners are like this. They have this entitled attitude where they just like are absolutely insane. And this is another situation where Russell T Davies talks about this. We'll get into the news in just a moment. My name's John Delarose. Everybody, please hit the like and subscribe button. I appreciate you being here. I'm a longtime Doctor Who fan. I love science fiction, and I write my own. If you like science fiction, you're going to love The Stars Entwined, and it's 2 books that make up the trilogy, The Stars Asunder and The Stars Rejoined. Well, this is more of a space opera type of thing. It's not really a time travel situation. It's a little different, but it has great sci-fi stuff in it. And if you like the classic Doctor Who where there's a lot of action adventure, I guarantee you're going to enjoy this too. So it's in the description below. Please back this and just grab it on Amazon today. They're all available on audiobook, ebook, or print for your convenience. And I appreciate you guys for reading. Doctor Who fans are some of the best science fiction readers out there. And it's all about just respecting you. That's what these guys don't get. So here's what Davies says. He says, Doctor Who had to become bigger and bolder to quote, keep up with the times. This and what he means by this, to keep up with the times, is striving for those modern audiences, striving for the youth demographic. And so he's trying to aim these political messages at young Zoomers in order to try to get them brainwashed into the lifestyle. And that's what the agenda is all the way around. That's why Disney's invested in this and all that. When we first started in 2005, we were the only show, so it was easy. Now it's a busy market. We have to keep up. I don't understand what he means by that. There were plenty of shows in 2005. There were a lot of good science fiction out then still going on. I think, what did we have back then? We had Battlestar Galactica was having its relaunch. I think, was Stargate SG-1 still going at that point? I don't recall. But there's lots of sci-fi options, at least in the recent years. So Doctor Who was not it. Very weird. But again, shows how myopic these people are. It shows that they're only in their own, even this statement is just a mask off showing he's in his own little bubble. He's only thinking about himself. He's only thinking about what he's working on and what nobody else is working on, not paying any attention to the market, not paying any attention to competition for real, even though he says he is. With this series having inspired so many other dramas, we have to go big. We have to go big to keep it interesting. I've had the bi-generation idea for ages. So what is bi-generation is a big idea? It was a stupid idea. What does that have to do with like competing with other science fiction shows? Having the black guy like just molt out of David Tennant. Like it was nonsensical. It really doesn't make sense because like where did the melanin all come from? Like like it's very very insane. If somebody who had certain looks procreated in some way like that, you'd think there'd be a different father or something like that. It's very weird. It's still nonsensical even to this day. It was the perfect time because nobody expected it. We needed to remind people there are no fixed rules. And here you are. This was an intentional thing to tell you, the fan, that there's no rules to this universe, that anything that came in the past is fair game, that he can change whatever he wants, whatever for any plot convenience that he feels like, and he's going to. And he's going to insult the lore of the past. He's going to insult all of the Doctor Who stuff that came before. He's going to insult all the fans' intelligences because he just doesn't care. And that is the attitude that all these people have. Again, Rings of Power, the exact same things. They very much do not care about what Tolkien wrote. They're trying to present Sauron now as like this, like, sympathetic guy, who they might even ship Sauron with Galadriel, is a rumor out there. Just insane stuff. And they're just not paying attention to the lore because there's, quote, no rules. Well, good science fiction, actually good fiction, there should be rules. Rules and constraints and all that actually do make you a better writer, because when you're trying to do that, and this is important for world building especially, the rules have to be there, and you have to kind of abide by them within what you're doing, within the tech or magic or whatever system you're using. Because if you establish some rules and then you go outside of them, it takes the audience out. It ruins the immersion. It destroys the experience for the reader or the viewer. This is like writing 101, that there are fixed rules. And especially when you have something that's as long as Doctor Who with its history, you have to be very, very cognizant of that. That's exactly the first thing that you should be paying attention to and careful about, and none of these people want to do it. And none of these people are obligated to do it under these new contracts. And they do it intentionally. It's not even about not following rules. They want to break every rule and make everything their own and new again. It's how they're trying to leave their mark on things as their, their quote own legacy, because they didn't create Doctor Who. Russell T Davies was not one of the original creators, obviously, and so he knows that he's just a fan fiction writer, even though it's an official one at the end of the day. And so he's trying to make Doctor Who new again. He's trying to make it year zero, that you don't even pay attention to what happened in the past, because this is Russell T Davies' creation. He's the genius here. Well, the only reason that Russell T Davies even has this audience for this is because of the Doctor Who past and the legacy that came before. If he just made his random space-traveling gay black dude Russell T Davies show, nobody'd be watching it at all, even less people than are watching the current Doctor Who now. And he knows that. And that's exactly why these people just have such imposter syndromes about their current legacies and have to do this kind of thing. There's a reason that they're labeling Ncuti Gatwa's new season 1 again, when they hadn't done that with the different generations of the Doctors before. They're doing it because they want this to be year zero. They want this to be their own thing. They don't care about what the fans care about this. So he says that once you say something is impossible, we do it. Bi-generation can't happen, we did it. David Tennant can't come back, he did. Nothing is forbidden. That's what this show is. I guess the only thing that's forbidden is actually telling a good story with coherent plot at this juncture. Now, he's getting savaged in the comments about this. Again, this is like just a lot of Doctor Who fans talking about this. I don't think anyone needed a reminder there aren't any current rules. The Chibnall era was all about retcon and tossing out the preconceived rules of the show. Look how that turned out. Translation. Tennant is like RDJ and Hugh Jackman and will be dragged out until they are corpses to try to get people watching. That's really funny. Big and bold cannot disguise poor writing. It hasn't really stepped up much from Chibnall's era. It's still in the worst place it's ever been. I mean, these are just regular Doctor Who fans right here. No, that's just dumb. You need some rules. Otherwise, your show's just a mess. Look at Marvel right now. Exactly. Has anyone actually been watching the nonsense they've been making since the end of Capaldi's tenure? Yikes. And so here's this. Ncuti is a fantastic doctor. I'm excited to see more of him. Not actually replying to anything about the stories or anything like that. I guess he just likes looking at the black guy, but that's his own thing. Lost interest after Peter Capaldi played the Doctor. Get rid of it. Worst selection of actors ever. I mean, he's getting destroyed in the comments here by Doctor Who fans, and there's a lot. Look at this: 745 reactions, 502 comments. This is getting ratioed when he's looking at this, and it's all their hubris. It's all just the fact that these are arrogant people. Russell T Davies is so arrogant. He has nobody to tell him no. If they do, they get fired. And this is the real problem we're having in a lot of the industry right now. Russell T Davies is a big example of what not to do. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure to check out the Stars Entwined Great Science Fiction on Amazon. Really appreciate you guys for reading. Thank you so much. We'll be back soon.